In this video, we're going over a massive potential Devil May Cry 5 info leak and a couple of awesome deals on the PlayStation 4 Pro and the PlayStation VR headset for Cyber Monday. Let's get right into this. First of all, let's talk about Devil May Cry 5, the fifth mainline installment of the Devil May Cry series. The last numbered Devil May Cry title came back in 2008 with Devil May Cry 4. There was another title released dubbed just Devil May Cry. It was a reboot of the series, featured a much different looking Dante, and that game was actually very good. Unfortunately, the presentation alteration turned a lot of people off, and it didn't seem to resonate with a lot of gamers as you would expect the typical Devil May Cry games to do. It was also kind of a weird decision because while Devil May Cry 4 to many wasn't seen as the best game in the series, it definitely gained a lot of traction, and it was just odd to see that shift. But now it looks like we are getting a Devil May Cry 5, and a massive leak came over from a user on Orchestra. This hasn't been completely verified, but it's so much information, and the user actually agreed to take a permanent ban if this information doesn't come to fruition. So let's go over some of the things stated in the post. Devil May Cry 5 is slated to release sometime in the fiscal calendar year of 2019. That means sometime between April 2018 and March 2019. Original plan was to release it in November of 2018, but the date might have been pushed back to early 2019. Originally, Devil May Cry 5 was intended to be announced at PSX this year. That's the upcoming huge PlayStation event in December, but after receiving feedback on their E3 press conference, Sony decided to scale back on PSX and instead scale up E3 2018. The post continues by saying DMC5 was an unfortunate casualty of this choice, and thus it's unlikely that the game gets officially revealed in 2017. There will be a demo for the game sometime before release, and the game has been in development for 2 years as of the day of the post. There's also some form of PlayStation exclusivity involved. Sony is paying for some of the funding for the game, but the extent of it is unknown. Could be completely PS4 exclusive, console exclusive, or timed exclusive. The post continues by saying the trailer has been ready for a while now. The initial trailer is 1 minute and 50 seconds long, but that could obviously change. The overall game is supposed to be ambitious for a DMC title with a broader appeal. That's what I would expect, to be completely honest. Now, with how the gaming environment is, releasing a linear action-adventure game really isn't gonna fly with a lot of people. Now you need your bigger world with more content because that's become the accepted norm in a lot of titles. Hopefully, if they do change some things up with DMC5, and change is a good thing, it just makes a solid transition. It's also expected to feature the longest cutscene runtime of any DMC game yet. There's a couple of other things mentioned on the post, but they're character and story related, so I don't want to go into that because Devil May Cry does have a great story, and if you've yet to play the game, I would highly recommend you to do so. Devil May Cry 4 is actually available on the PlayStation 4 as a digital download, and that is a very good game. Unfortunately, with the other titles, you'll have to catch up some other way. There is a collection available on the PlayStation 3, and that's pretty nice. Devil May Cry 2, however, is notoriously known to be a pretty bad game, so there's that too, but I still thought it was okay. So that finishes up the Devil May Cry 5 talk. Hopefully this is legitimate because I've been wanting a DMC5 for a long time. Again, I did play the Devil May Cry reboot and I enjoyed it, but my immersion was definitely affected. I just had an emotional attachment to Dante and even Nero, who was a character introduced in DMC4. But nonetheless, Devil May Cry 5 has potential to be a huge game if it comes to reality. Also, we want to mention some great PlayStation 4 deals, namely on the PS4 Pro console as well as the PlayStation VR headset. First, the PlayStation 4 Pro 1TB console is available on Target. It's listed at $400, but you save 15% ordering online. Unfortunately, it isn't available online, so you have to get free in-store pickup. 15% off would knock it down to $340, and then if you do have the Target Red card, you can take off another 5%, and that would put it in the neighborhood of $325. On the PlayStation 4 Pro itself, honestly, if you have the regular PlayStation 4, I would just say stick with that. This isn't a gigantic upgrade over the PS4. It does have some nice bells and whistles added to it, and some of the games do look a bit better, but it's nothing groundbreaking, and it's definitely not the shift that you see from the Xbox One to the Xbox One X. It's a lower end upgrade, but if you are picking up a PlayStation 4 console for the first time, this is a pretty solid deal. And also, we have an insane deal on the PlayStation VR Gran Turismo Sport Bundle over on eBay. This is coming from an authorized seller. The bundle is just $260. That is an insane deal because you get the PlayStation VR headset, you get Gran Turismo Sport, and you get the PlayStation camera. This typically goes for $400. I believe on Black Friday it was discounted to $300, so now it's even cheaper than that. If you are looking to make the jump to PlayStation VR, which I know a lot of you guys are hesitant about, it's still a very steep price price point, and the game library isn't as vast as possible, it is a very unique experience, and if you want that, $260 for this bundle is a great pickup. So that's gonna conclude this video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below. What do you think about Devil May Cry 5? Are you excited for the series? Have you played the previous games? Did you check out DMC Devil May Cry, the reboot? And let us know what you think about these two deals on the PlayStation 4 Pro and the PlayStation VR. That VR deal especially is absolutely ridiculous. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.